Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Doers in this gospel, broad, living up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a quick lesson through the Spirit. Lord's will to be edifying. Titled A Few Words on the Presidential Debate. I think I may have came, because I saw a majority of it. I was kind of in and out. But I think I came probably within 30, maybe 40 minutes of the debate. And I came to the part when Trump is basically going into the border, the illegal border crossings, and how he was labeling Kamala a czar, a border czar, which czar goes into like a ruler or a king. Because if you understand that the border and the whole border crisis, Kamala, I believe, was like the head racketeer behind the whole border control. You got a guy named by the name of J.J. Carell that basically stated that when he was working as a border patrol agent, basically they was just literally walking, they was literally just letting these people across the border, and we got footage on that, you know. We got footage of how they was letting people cross the border into America, and they was hopping on trains and being bused to these particular Democratic cities, mainly sanctuary cities like Cali, Chicago, New York, you know, the major big threes, you know, which is basically Democrat states or Democrat cities, which is ran by liberalism. And we know what comes from liberalism: feminism, wickedism, momoism, all types of ism that comes from, you know, the liberal side of things, which, you know, both sides of the party is smoke and mirrors, man. So anyway, Kamala, I mean, she had a 4% approval rating when it came to who won the debate. Trump destroyed her hands down because he was attacking certain things like the inflation. He was bringing out valid points about the state of the economy. But one thing Trump didn't really go into, and that I noticed, is that his plan for economic recovery. Though he did mention that he was going to put tariffs on China and other nations that trade America and do the outsourcing. He did mention that they was going to put tariffs on these nations and how he was going to bring down the debt. But the whole time he was really attacking what they didn't do, and he was making excellent points, basically stating like, well, for one thing, if you're going to do all these things, why didn't you just do it? It's your third year in office. Why you ain't just do it? You know? Numbers where tariffs raise prices. What are you saying, bro? Anyway, not important. But anyway, so when you look at the end of the debate, they had an approval rating. Trump won 94%. 4% they gave to Kamala, which it was a joke at the end of the day, you know? A total joke. It was a sham. But when you look at it from face value, on paper, it looked like Trump will hands down defeat this particular candidate because, I mean, she doesn't have a plan. I mean, she did mention about abortions and, you know, giving women's rights. And from what I was looking at, it seems like she tried to play on the emotions of the women and you jakes. And that's the stance that these Democrats always take. They always take the fact that they want to play on your emotions because, you know, they put you in these situations, you know, to the point that you have to reach out for handouts, and then they don't do shit for you. Okay, like everybody right now, everybody is Trump, gung-ho Trump, Trump this, Trump that. But just 4 years ago, you same jakes that's hopping on a Trump bandwagon, you was all for Biden and Kamala, all for Hillary Clinton, all because you felt like this dude Biden was basically Obama's right-hand man. But basically what he did, he totally destroyed the economy. And then what happened was they tried to put the blame on Trump and say, well, Trump destroyed the economy, but inflation went up on Biden's watch, man. Okay, they said in some cases inflation went up to down at 20%, just depending on what area you live in. You know, like in Missouri alone, certain cities like Kansas City, St. Louis, shit, inflation went up 34%. I mean, it was to a point that I remember a one-bedroom apartment in this city was going for $500-600. Now that same one-bedroom apartment is going for damn near $2 bands a month. So to say this, the whole presidential debate, It's all smoke and mirrors, man. It was all just a ploy. It's a stage. It's an act. And if you pay attention to the judges or the man and the woman that was basically asking the questions for both sides of it, they seem kind of biased towards Trump because ultimately they have an agenda to fulfill. And it's not that Trump is not going to further the elite's plan, but Trump is control opposition. So he has particular talking points that's going to appease to the average person, like, okay, let's do something about the inflation. Let's do something about the mass immigration crisis, you know, the sanctuary cities. But he didn't even mention how this current administration was giving these migrants, or at least I may have missed that part, but he wasn't even really going into the fact on how these migrants were given all this money to come over here and live for free, basically. Okay? In some cases, I'm hearing that these people get up to $10,000 a month to live in luxury homes and to have free health care, food stamps, and they're getting employment on top of that, free rent. But yet the average taxpayer is paying hand over fist in order to sustain rent, man. So he was addressing certain points which will appease to the people, which would make sense as he will win the election. But just my personal opinion, I don't think that may be an election, but if there is, Kamala may win because she's speaking more on the elite's terms. Okay, she wants to do away with gun rights, even though she lied and mentioned and say, well, look, me and Tim Walsh, we own weapons. We're not coming to take your weapons. But just 2 weeks ago, she had a whole different stance on that. You know, she was mentioning a few weeks ago how anything that's over a particular caliber of a rifle, or if it's anything considered an assault rifle, they was going to take that shit. She said it 2 weeks ago. I did a video on it. She wanted to implement a buyback program. But I guess she got so much lash back off that to the point she had to change her stance. But regardless of it, whoever gets in office, at the end of the day, all hell is still going to break loose. Whether DJ Trump gets in office, whether Kamala gets in office, all hell is still going to break loose because for the simple fact, you have what they call an intersecting road that leads to one destination. Okay? And I'm a believer in that. You may have two roads that appears to intersect at a crossing, but yet it's going to end to the same, it's going to be the same result. It's going to lead to civil war. It's going to lead to America going into World War III. And Trump kept saying it. He said, well, look, if Kamala becomes president, Israel may have a year or two before they totally destroy, which that's in the scriptures, you know? And he was mentioning how he can start World War III like that if he becomes the president-elect. But back in my mind, I'm like, I don't know if that's even possible because when you think about it, how can you start World War III when you support the Zionists? Okay, and we know that this guy, Bibi Netanyahu, you know who, because he's not a Jew, all right? He's an Amalekite, he's an Edomite. He's not an Israelite. Okay, and that's another talking point that they like to throw out there about that anti-S BS, man. Okay, how the hell can we be anti-S when we are Shemitic? And it's not Semitic, it's Shemitic. But they play on the mindsets of the people because the people of America, they're fucking stupid, man. Okay, you got people that go down to these polls and they're voting and casting votes. And at the end of the day, your vote never counted in the first place, man. Okay, she kept saying, oh, he wants to destroy our democracy. This is not a fucking democracy, man. Okay, this is more like a dictatorship on the verge of communism because the people, they really don't have a choice. But yet, they tax you to death. But yet, you go to work every single day. Yet, you have the illusion of freedom, but you're not really free. So basically, Trump went into the whole dynamic, oh, yeah, I can start World War III. And that's not going to happen, Trump, because for one thing, you going to follow Israel. And we know that this guy, Netanyahu, he's not going to pipe down and he's not going to put an end to the war in Gaza. He's not going to do away with bombing the Houthis and all that. He's not going to do it. Okay, he said he's not going to stop until he makes an ethnic cleansing of that land. And on top of that, if he do cease to exist, to go back and forth with these Iranians, which Iran is backed by Russia. So regardless, America is going to be drawn into this third world war. But if this guy so happens to step down and declare a peace treaty with the Iranians, he's going to jail for fucking war crimes, man. So you think a devil that proud is going to literally withdraw his hand from a bunch of people that he despises? You crazy. So either way it go, America is going to lock horns with Russia. And you know what? That's in the Bible. That's Ezekiel 38. Okay? If you don't believe us, read it for yourself. Pray to the Lord to give you the understanding. But this society is fucked. And you know what? Good riddance to it. Okay? The hell with this society. and the people win it. Because you know what? The men of the Lord, the prophets of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, have been out on these streets prophesied week in and week out, going on the last 40 fucking years. All right, and nobody is hearkened, nobody has paid attention, everybody done scoffed, they didn't call us false prophets, you know, they didn't call us fear mongers, they said we are a hate group, all types of shit. But the most hateful people is the people running your government, man. You know? So it's a done deal. Terrorists raise prices. Yeah, he said he was gonna raise prices on China, you know, to do business and trades. He said he was gonna do that because he said they've given away hundreds of billions of dollars to China and these other countries in order to do business with them. And he said, look, we just gonna put tariffs on them when they want to do business with them. And I guess he's gonna use that to somehow, some way bring down the debt. But you're not gonna bring down a $37 trillion deficit in a matter of 4 years, bro. It's impossible. And on top of that, the money ain't being backed by anything. So how can you bring down debt with debt? Don't make any sense. Okay, it's not gonna happen. And they said that America quadruples their debt every 2 seconds. I think around $200,000 to $300,000 every 2 seconds. So you're not gonna never pay that debt back. It's not gonna get paid back. Okay, and the scriptures even tells us in the book of Jeremiah, I believe it's 51:7, if I'm not mistaken, that we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Okay, and Babylon the Great, according to the Bible, is America, or Mystery Babylon, or the Virgin Daughter of Babylon. These are all spiritual surnames for this corporation called America. Okay? And Shalom, Akim Yahabashim Shai Brakathum. Be like-minded, Shalom, bro. Revelation 13:11, it says, and behold, I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth that had 2 horns like a lamb, but he spake as a dragon. Yeah, those 2 horns represents those political parties, man. Okay, you got the Democrats, you got the Republicans. Now, in the ancient Roman Empire, you had the plebeians and the patricians, okay, which was basically of the same genus, but one was for the monarch, for the monarch of the people, which a monarchy goes into like an elite rule of the 1% that delegate authority among their vassals, and then you got the patricians, which I believe was more so-called for the people, okay, which the Democrats is so-called for the people, which we know that's a lie. Okay, and then you got the Republicans, which is basically the conservatives, which they believe in a constitutional right, so they say. Because my thing is, if they really believed in that, they would vetoed everything that this guy Biden put out there, but they didn't. Which shows you that they're all part of the same goddamn conglomerate. All right? It says vote independent, lesser 2 evils. No, we ain't voting, period. What you mean vote? We ain't supposed to be voting for this system. The scriptures tells us we're not supposed to put another king that's not of our brethren above us. So we ain't supposed to be voting. We supposed to be praying to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai to come destroy this fucking place, man. What the hell you want to sit up here and deal with another 4 or 5 years of fucking oppression? See that, and that's what I'm talking about. That's the mindset of the average American. You know, vote for the lesser evil. That's bullshit. Where did I get the 4% rating? Well, if you paid attention to the end of the debate, if you look at the end of the debate, they gave a poll. People voted on who they thought won the debate. 94% people thought Trump won the debate. 4% only voted for Kamala actually beating Trump in the debate. If you stuck around and you listened to the end of the video, you can look it up. Just do a Google search or, you know, look it up, man. You can find it. At least that's what I saw. They had a vote. They had like a scan code that you can give your opinion on who won the debate or who you felt won. And 94% of the people stated that Trump won. Only 4% stated that Kamala won because she gave some generic ass plan. Then 4% of the other people stated that, well, you know, we couldn't really determine who was the winner. Because at the end of the day, neither one of them was saying shit. But he was bringing out valid points when it came to calling her out on our bullshit because she kept running around from the border ordeal. Okay, the sanctuary cities, the violence of the migrants, the inflation. These are the things that she couldn't get around. And if you paid attention, she looked like she was totally defeated, man. You know? So, it's a done deal. It says vote independent, the lesser of the 2 evils. I mean, evil is evil, bro. I mean, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Vote for the lesser evil. Why would you want evil anyway? If you are one of us, your whole prayer should be to the Most High to destroy this place. But, I mean, the way you talking, I don't even think you even one of us. So, I mean, it don't matter what you think. You know? Accountability spirit. It says another YouTube conspiracy theorist. Okay, then get the fuck off my channel then, Tony. If I'm a conspiracy theorist, get the fuck out of here. And you fix this shit. Fuck out of here, man. And I'm gonna set up moderators on this channel, Salakia. I'm gonna set up moderators. That way, you got a bunch of goofies on this comment board. You can just block their ass, because all these people that's talking shit, the Most High is gonna destroy every last one of them. Anyway, going here, Isaiah 10:1, it says, woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Right, an unrighteous decree is a law. Okay, and for the dummies out there that say that we're fear-mongering and speaking on conspiracies, only thing you got to do is do the research and open up your eyes. Because all you dummies out there that went to shot the J, and you all fucked up from it, it looks like the C theorists, it looked like we was right. It looked like we was right about all the mandates and all the lockdowns and all that other shit. But yet you dumbass people went down there to shoot a goddamn jump shot to keep a fucking job that you may not have in another year anyway. A bunch of idiots, you know? Anyway, Psalms 94:20, it says, should the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which framing mischief by law? Right, okay, and mischief by law, going into these unrighteous laws that they're passing. Okay, these unrighteous decrees, giving Moses rights. And that's another thing that he didn't address, but I understand he can't speak on these particular ordeals because for the simple fact, they have an agenda at hand. That's one thing about these presidential candidates. They're only going to speak on mainstream issues. They're not going to speak on what's really going on behind the scenes. Okay, they're not going to speak on how they found biolabs, basically with America's print on it in the Ukraine. And it's the reason why the war was started over there in the first place. They're not going to speak on stuff like that. They're not going to speak on small hats because they can't do that. Prime example, she tried to use the January 6th ordeal, which that was a weak attempt because they showed the guards allowing them to walk right up in the White House. I mean, we got the video of this shit. I mean, the people were just walking through, protesting peacefully. But all that other shit they had going on out there, it looked like a movie set, man. But yet, people are too stupid to see that because they're so stuck into MSNBC. You know, these people, they're just lost in the sauce. But yet, we're the crazy ones, right? Comical. 94:22, it says, but the Lord is my defense and my power and the rock of my refuge. So yeah, we gonna be cool, you know, regardless on what happens here in November, if there is an election, okay? I mean, whether it is or not, the same thing is gonna transpire. There will be civil war, okay? The economy will collapse, the dollar will collapse, America's gonna go to war with Russia, America's gonna be destroyed, okay? They will put an MOTB or a microchip inside you in order for you to buy and sell and trade. And if you don't like it, oh well. So, shit, tough beans. 1 second, brothers. Let me park this whip real quick. I'm kind of on the road and driving, so Salakia, see him all over the place. But let me park this car real quick and get a little focus in before I end it. I want to get a couple more of these precepts online. And I'm going to set up a couple of you brothers as moderators. That way we ain't got to deal with the trolls. Because a lot of people on here, man, they just, you know, there's a bunch of demons. But anyway, accountability spirit. It says here, for when they should say peace and safety, then sudden destruction coming upon them as travail upon woman with child, and they should not escape. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. So regardless of it, at the end of the day, there's going to be a world war. You know? It says they build biolabs here now too. Yep, that's absolutely right. It says God won't destroy Sodom until all righteous are gone. But that one is separate. What you mean he won't destroy Sodom? Well, you got to understand the elect will be beamed up out of here as this place is being destroyed. And the precept to that is Revelation, the 11th chapter, when it says that, behold, I saw them descended to heaven with the cloud, roughly paraphrasing. It says, and all their enemies beheld them. In that same hour was there a great earthquake, and a 10th part of the city fell, which the 10th part of the city is talking about America. So as we're being delivered out of this place, you're going to have missiles that's being shot here. Okay, there's no such thing as a pre-tribulation rapture or, you know, we're going to be taken off the earth. No, that's not going to happen because Revelation says that the hour of temptation should come upon all that dwell upon the earth. But we will be delivered out of here as the destruction comes, if that make any sense. It says Kamala promised so much freebies like candies. I was one who's going to pay for all she promised. Of course, we going to have to pay for it. We always pay for it. You know? What the fuck are you on about? None of your fucking business. Get the fuck out of here. But anyway, I'm at my destination. So Lord's will, I'll come back with a part 2, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakakwadash. I'm going to give double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone and rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Lord's will, you are edified into the next lesson. Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the spirit. This is from Steve Ram, and this goes to the top 10 Trump moments. Going back into the debate that DJ had with Kamala last night live. Now, one thing is for certain is that you have guys like Steve Ram and David Hodges and Redacted. You have all these men that are pro-Trump, okay, which I remember David Hodges, if I'm not mistaken, we're speaking about, yeah, David Hodges, if I'm not mistaken, or was it Glenn, not David Hodges, I think it was Glenn Beck. One of them dudes, man. But basically, I think early in the year, he was basically saying, like, he's not even Republican anymore. It's like he's done. He said, no matter who gets in there, it's a shit show. This place is done. And I agree to that. I concur 144%. Because no matter what they tell you people, no matter what they say to you, at the end of the day, like I made in transit, you have two intersecting roads that leads to one road, which is the destruction of Babylon the Great. So while Trump made some interesting points, and we're going to play a couple of minutes of this video, he was basically tearing her, he was ripping her ass apart. He was bringing out valid points. But at the end of the day, we've seen this ordeal time and time again. We've seen presidential debates. We've seen him with Barack Obama and what's his guy's name he went up against. I forgot who he went up against back in 2008 and 2012 because it's been so long ago. But basically, we saw this same sentiment before when they're airing each other out and stating who policy is that policy and that policy is this policy. At the end of the day, the shit is all smoke and mirrors, okay? She's not going to bring anything good for our people, and Donald Trump is not going to bring anything good for our people. See, the problem with you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the biblical Israelites, you are too flabbergasted on this current system, and you're not focused on what's at hand, okay? You're not focused on the true teachings and the true meaning of the Lord, who you call Jesus Christ and the Most High God, which their names are Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. You're too distracted by these puppets that's put in front of you, promising you freebies and assistance when the last fucking 50, 60 years you niggas been voting Democrat or whatever the hell you vote, you still come up on the short end of the stick. Okay, the biggest spit in the face is the fact that they made everybody get juiced. They've pretty much did away with Title 42, which allowed these immigrants or migrants to come into your country, getting free welfare, free benefits, free housing, free food. I mean, they getting the bag off your tax dollars, man, off our tax dollars. But, I don't equate myself with this society because the scriptures say, come up out of her, my people, be ye separate. So we don't really give a damn at the end of the day who wins. But you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're sold on this bullshit that either one of these candidates are going to come and make your life better. You had one person on the comment board say, well, vote for the lesser evil, vote independent. Well, you shouldn't be voting at all, okay? Because regardless of it, your vote don't count. Okay, I've always said it before. You think they're really counting all these ballots, whether by hand or by these machines? They're not counting your fucking votes. It's all a play on democracy, okay? Because under the democracy, the people get to rule and choose who they want to put in office. But regardless of it, the elites, the wizard behind the curtains, are pulling the strings as to who's going to become the president you select November 5th, if there is an election. It's been a lot of talks that may not be an election, so we don't really know. Okay, it's hard to say at this point. Me personally, I feel like they're going to do something before the election to cancel it, because clearly to what just happened to her last night, she totally got dismantled. And there's no way in hell that the majority of the people are going to vote for her, especially looking at the polls as to who voted, as to who they thought won this debate. 94% of the people that saw the debate thought Donald Trump won. She was only given a 4% approval of possibly winning the debate. So how much more come election night? But see, what I think that they're going to do, because she's speaking more on a draconian terms of taking weapons and, giving migrants more rights, more money, giving moles more rights, okay, giving women abortion rights. She's basically speaking on a destructive tip, and this is what the elites want. So by default, they know she can't win an election. So I feel like, in my personal opinion, what they can do is stage a Black Swan event, whether it be an economic collapse, whether it be something happening on the shores of America, whether civil war breaking out. They want to keep her in office. Only thing they have to do is suspend the elections, and by default, if Biden dies and goes to the spirit world, which he may be dead already, because nobody's really seen or heard of him legitimately, she will by default take the place as president of the United States, and her nominee, which is this guy Tim Walz, will pretty much come in her stead. I believe that's how that works, especially if they suspend what they call habeas corpus. Okay, so I'm gonna play a couple of minutes of this video to show you how comical this shit really is, because it's smoke and mirrors. Either way it goes, this place is gonna be destroyed. No matter if he gets in there or she gets in there, they both are gonna lead Babylon the Great into a flatline mode. Because this bitch is done, man. All right, just let it fucking die already. So anyway.
So she just started by saying she's going to do this, she's going to do that, she's going to do all these wonderful things. Why hasn't she done it? She's been there for 3.5 years. They've had 3.5 years to fix the border. They've had 3.5 years to create jobs and all the things we talked about. Why hasn't she done it? She should leave right now, go down to that beautiful White House, go to the Capitol, get everyone together and do the things you want to do, but you haven't done it, and you won't do it because you believe in things that the American people don't believe in. You believe in things like, we're not going to frack. We're not going to take fossil fuel. We're not going to do things that are going to make this country strong, whether you like it or not. Germany tried that, and within 1 year, they were back to building normal energy plants. We're not ready for it. We can't sacrifice our country for the sake of bad vision. But I just ask one simple question. Why didn't she do it? We're a failing nation. We're a nation that's in serious decline. We're being laughed at all over the world. All over the world, they're laughing. I know the leaders very well. They're coming to see me. They call me. We're laughed at all over the world. They don't understand what happened to us as a nation. We're not a leader. We don't have any idea what's going on. We have wars going on in the Middle East. We have wars going on with Russia and Ukraine. We're going to end up in a third world war, and it'll be a war like no other because of nuclear weapons, the power of weapons, the power of...
Hello, everyone. Liberal billionaires who absolutely hate our country.
I rebuilt our entire military. She gave a lot of it away to the Taliban. She gave it to Afghanistan. What these people have done to our country, and maybe toughest of all, is allowing millions of people to come into our country. Many of them are criminals, and they're destroying our country. The worst president, the worst vice president in the history of our country.
President Trump, I'll let you respond.
First of all, they bought their chips from Taiwan. We hardly make chips anymore because of...
What the fuck? Okay, so here you go. So basically, he's ripping her apart, and he's going into policies and how she has no plan. But at the end of the day, both of them are some fucking liars, all right? Donald Trump don't like niggas, nor do Kamala like niggas. Trump hates Latinos and Native Americans, and she do as well, okay? And on top of that, she's not an Israelite. Okay, so all this shit, and you got people in the comments that really believe in this bullshit, man. But you know what I'm realizing? This is the last semblance of Esau's kingdom. So these people are literally on the fence about this coming selection because they know that this selection determines their fate. And really it don't, because your fate is already determined because you're going to be destroyed anyway. But in their mindset, Trump is their last hope. If he doesn't get in office, there will be semblance of civil war. Okay, how far would it go? I don't know. I mean, at this point, the American people don't surprise me because they fall for any goddamn thing. I mean, you can literally take money out their bank accounts and they won't do shit about it. 2 weeks ago, allegedly, they had a major breach of Social Security numbers being hacked and people's personal information being leaked, and yet not a goddamn protest or a fucking insurrection or none of that. And we're not calling for it, but we just show you how docile and feeble-minded that these people who claim to be the most pristine people on the face of the earth, and they ain't do shit. You know? So anyway, it's all bullshit at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, who gives a fuck? They both are going down. But he has true talking points and he's making sense. But the hell with him too. So this is the book of Psalms 55, and I'm going to start at verses 21. It says, the words of his mouth was smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. So yeah, they talk a good game. Like he's speaking, oh, well, I'm going to do away with the war. I'm going to end it with the snap of the finger. You're not going to end the war in the Middle East because for the simple fact, you're on Netanyahu, what's this guy's name? Bibi Netanyahu, you know who. You're under his jurisdiction. Okay, what he says go, the small hats own America lock, stock, and barrel. I don't give a damn what you people say. The small hats run this place, and they put the puppets in office who they want to do their bidding. And if this guy is not going to cease fire and stand down, you going to war with Russia, bro, because if they continue to fuck with Iran, Russia going to fuck with Israel, and then America, you going to have to get in this war. Okay, the scripture said the least of the flock shall draw them out. The least of the flock. And who's the least of the flock? It's the small hats, man. And it says here, and the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. Yeah, it sounds good. They give you a good public speech. They speak swelling words to you. But at the end of the day, it don't mean nothing. It's empty words, man. Okay? This is the book of Psalms 52, and I'm going to start at 2. It says, thy tongue devises mischiefs, like a sharp razor working deceitfully. Yeah, and a razor is sure to cut because the edges are sharp. But it sounds good, right? But overall, these people are going to get in office and they ain't going to do shit. Now, I will admit, when Trump was in office, things were fairly cheaper. But remember, we were still in an economic collapse, man. Things were still high. Rents were still going up. Inflation was still going up. Now, it wasn't as bad as it is now. But for him to reverse that at this point, it's highly unlikely, man. Okay, he's talking about putting tariffs on other countries. I don't know how they're going to fare well with that, especially when they're pretty much done with the U.S. dollar. So, I don't know, man. But me personally, ideally, Trump will win. I mean, hands down, but this is not an ideal situation. And we understand that Esau, he does whatever the fuck he want to do. So, he's not speaking the talking points that the elites care to hear, but he's speaking the talking points that people want to hear, which hence he's controlled opposition. Okay? And what this bride Kamala did is what she plays. She's going to play on the emotion of the who they call libtards. Okay, you feminists, you momos, you trannies. She's playing on the emotions of you and you Jakes, man. And she's already lost the Jake male vote. Jake ain't really fucking with her like that. Unless he's a mama's boy, you know, or a simp. But the average Jake ain't dealing with her, man. So she has to appease to the homosexuals. And she has to appease to feminists, to a bunch of black-ass women. That's the only vote she's going to really get. And that ain't really enough to win it all. So by default, they may just put her in there because she's speaking on draconian terms. That's just my opinion. That's if there is an election. We don't know, you know, and we really don't care. But for prophetic sake, hey, something has to happen. And something to happen may be nothing happening of this election. We don't know. It could be a fucking civil war that break out before then, hopefully. But it says, thou lovest evil more than good and lying rather than to speak righteousness. It's all lies and deceit. Okay, especially coming from our behalf of it. I mean, she said a lot of things that she was blatantly lying about. She tried to bring up the whole Janet 6 ordeal, when that shit looks like a Hollywood production, and we saw the actual footage, and it wasn't anything like that. But yet, they send his ass to jail, they indict him on it, you know, and they bring him up on charges because, you know, like I said, it's all controlled opposition. They have to persecute Trump to piss off the right wing enough so these fucking constitutionalists and these what do you call these people? These people that believe in the Constitution so they can fight, because we always say that Esau is going to kick off the Civil War. Okay? We always said that Esau is going to kick off the Civil War. So they have to get them pissed off enough so they can go against the left wing. But even then, a civil war is going to be horrendous because you got Chinese nationals over here, you got Russian nationals, you got Hamitic nationals, you got Iranian nationals, you have the Venezuelans over here, you have the Haitians over here, which are the Levites, you know, which they're popping heads off pigeons and eating them, you know, eating crows and shit. But all these particular nations over here is going to take a liking into the opposition. So even if you did have a war between Democrat and Republican, you're still going to get offset because you got a bunch of people over here that don't have your best interests. So you fucked either way. Okay? It says, thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. So it says, the Most High shall likewise destroy thee forever, and he should take thee away, and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place, and root thee out of the land of the living. And the righteous shall also see and fear and shall laugh at him. Yeah, because it's funny at the end of the day. It's comical. I was looking at this last night and I was shaking my goddamn head because I'm like, how can people still fall for this shit? Okay, you people fall for any goddamn thing. I mean, these people have blatantly been lying, especially our people. Like, we don't give a damn about you, Edomite. You crack, you can fall, this is your kingdom at the end of the day. But we're talking about our stupid ass people, right? You Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This is really for you. Fuck Esau and the other nations. We don't give a good goddamn about them. But the 2/3 of you ninjas out there, man, you ought to be ashamed of your fucking self believing in this bullshit ass theater. It's theatrics, man. It's a shit show. You know, oh, well, you gotta vote for the lesser evil, man. Nigga, shut your ass up. How about you vote for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to come back and get your ass right and repent of your fucking sins, man? How about you do that so we can actually get a sovereign nation, so we can actually get a sovereign rulership without these demons ruling over us? That's what pissed me off about you niggas, man. All right? You just a bunch of damn demons. And I lost my precept of my mom, Psalms 52. Shit. Psalms 52. Fuck, it'll come back to me. Isaiah 30, and I'm going to start at verses 1. It says, woe unto the rebellious children, says Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. And that's you Jakes, man. Okay, you Jakes are bred in a slave mentality. You don't even want to come up out of your condition. If it ain't the so-called white man ruling over you, you don't see no other future outside of Esau ruling over you, man. That's how you know we got to get the hell out of here. Because if it was up to you Israelites, we would be stuck here in captivity until kingdom come, which would never be, according to you niggas. I mean, it's like, goddamn, Jake. All right. So this is the book of Jeremiah 2. And let me find it. Is Israel a homeborn slave? Where the hell is that at? I know I'm looking at it. Yep, here we go. Jeremiah 2:13. It says, for my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, the truth, salvation. You forsaken your own way out of here into sovereignty, into eternal life. All the things you asking for on a basic level, the Lord is going to give it to you 1,000 times more and then some. But yet you looking for some demons, some heathens to give you your goddamn rights and your sovereignty. It's to the point, Jake, you done copped out for less. Oh, we just want good paying jobs and cheap rent. What kind of fucking life is that? I don't want no goddamn rent. I don't want to have to work no fucking job, man. I'm a king. I ain't trying to work for no fucking body, man. Got to go in the office with a bunch of menstrual, emotional ass women making fucked up rash decisions all because they feel some type of way. Who the fuck wants to live like that? Clearly you do. I don't. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of waking up, having to fucking go to work and deal with these people and hear the bullshit opinions of a bunch of slow bellies that don't matter. You know? I'm tired of having to accept you people's opinion. Fuck your opinion. We deal with facts over here. In a kingdom, we got to argue about what the fuck. Are we really having conversations about what a man and a woman is? But yet you niggas want to stay here. Oh, man, we got to vote. We got to put Trump in there, man, you know? Biden, he done fucked up. Oh, well, duh, stupid. We told you that. We told you the first time you put this monkey in there, you was going to have some weirdo shit going on. Now look at it. You didn't believe us. And we tell you put Trump in there, guess what? Your ass is going to war. What he says, and hewn out them cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. And a cistern is another way of saying like a vessel, man. And you putting your faith and your emotion and your spirit behind a system that's getting ready to crash. You see, the dollar is done. The U.S. dollar is done. The economy is done. There ain't gonna be no jobs here in a minute, man. You ain't gonna have no apartments in a minute because rents are gonna get so outrageous to the point they're gonna start doing mass evictions again. And then on top of that, they trying to shut back down. All right, but it says, is Israel a servant? It says, is he a homeborn slave? Why does he spoil you? And the question is, yes, they are servants, man. They have a servant mentality. But yet we're supposed to be princes of the power. Yasha Allah, which means he is a prince of God. Princes are sovereign. They don't take orders from nobody but the delegators above them. Okay, they take orders from kings and rulers. Princes, you're a ruler, man. But yet you're taking orders from a peasant and a damn woman that don't even know a fucking asshole from a hole in the wall. This is why you Jakes gotta go, all right? You gotta go. And point blank, you gotta get removed out the way. You in the way. You're a problem. And it says, and the young lions roared upon him and yelled and made his land waste, and his cities are burned without inhabitants. And that's exactly what's getting ready to happen to you, because the minute, regardless of who wins this election, at the end of the day, they're gonna still declare martial law. They're gonna still put you out your houses. They're gonna still persecute you to the fullest extent. Okay, it says, verse 2, that Walter go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. And that's what you're doing, going down there and voting for these people, man. The scriptures tells us in Deuteronomy, I think the 17th chapter, we're not supposed to put another king over us. And let me get that real quick. It may be 17 or 18. I forget sometime. Yep, Deuteronomy 17. And I'm going to start at verses 14. It says, and when thou art come into the land, which the Lord thy power giveth thee, and shall possess it, and when you possess something, you own it. It says, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. Right, because Jake always had a mentality to put somebody. Jake always wanted a ruler or a king. And Jake is so wicked, they will put a wicked ruler over them. They don't give a damn. As long as they have somebody over them that will allow them to sin and be wicked, they cool, because that's all the liberals is all about. You know, giving Jake as much freedom as they can do to destroy themselves. Letting Keisha be a fucking hoe and a slut. A boss bitch, a bad bitch. Bitch wearing fingernails down our hips, man. Eyelashes down on our fucking big toes. Color candy hair. This is all a nigga want to do. And they gonna get in these elites, they know that. They play on that. This is the reason why they always basically trying to pacify you, man. Gaslight you. Oh, yeah, well, we want to allow women to do what they want to do with their bodies, man. Look, if I was a president, bitch, abortions are banned. I don't give a fuck if you get raped. The reason why you got raped is because your funky ass was outside doing Lord knows what. And I know things do happen, unfortunately, but see, if we ruled this world, there wouldn't be a such thing as grape, because we would rule with the law, statutes, and commandments. And if somebody snatched you up and raped you, then oh well, you had a fucking baby, and we make sure that motherfucker marries you or we put his ass to death. That's how you eliminate that problem. But instead, you want to give these hoes rights to go out here and be wicked. How the hell you gonna, motherfucker, you killed something that's lit as murder, man. Trump said it. He said after 9 months, they take the baby out of you and then they decide what they're going to do with it. Basically, they're going to kill it. Because one thing about the Democrats is the fact that one thing about those Democrats is the fact that they believe in genocide, mass genocide, at a slower pace. It's like they give you the rope and the noose to hang yourself. They say, well, here, look. They go to rope here, tie around your neck. We'll give you the rope to hang yourself. That's all you dumbass Jakes do. Republicans, they just tell you straightforward, like, look, we ain't fucking with y'all, bro. You know? But it says here, and when it says, thou shalt in any wise set king over thee, whom Yahweh thy power should choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set over a king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. And notice it says brother, because ain't no fucking woman supposed to be ahead of a goddamn thing. All right, don't give me the bullshit about the 4 women or the women in the scriptures. You had Deborah, you had Susanna, you had Esther, Ruth. Okay, the Lord had those particular situations set up for particular causes, man. But even going into the time of Deborah, when it said she should be a judge in Israel, in the book of Judges, who led that? Who was the orders given through, and who led the forces behind that? It was a man. You see? So don't get it twisted. A woman ruling is an unnatural thing. You know, you ain't gonna have no women queens over Israel. Our daughters, our women, we're gonna have wives, daughters, and some princesses. We ain't gonna have no goddamn queen sitting on no goddamn throne with scepters and delegating shots in our kingdom. That's gonna be the job of the men. Now, our women are gonna be royalty, and they're gonna be princesses in their own right, and they will have subjects and slaves. But ain't no woman gonna be writing no laws or enforcing no commandments in our kingdom. That's for the men to do. Okay, all this matriarchal bullshit that they pushing on you, and this is all that this bitch is doing. It's pushing a matriarchy on Jake, you know. But it says here, thou shalt in any wise set king over thee, whom thou thy Lord thy power should choose, one from among thy brethren should thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother, all right? And both of these are strangers. He's a heathen and she's a heathen. And honestly speaking, I'm thinking she's a fucking Edomite, because they say that her mother is East Indian, but her father owned Jamaican slaves. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of those slavers in the UK, because you got a lot of Benjamites in the UK and you got a lot of Nigerians up there. A lot of them slavers up there were fucking Amalekites, man. This bitch may be a small hat, man. Now, she looks like a black woman, you know, but East Indians, they're colored people too. You know, and she may appear to have a fucking Jake father, but his father can be an Edomite, which I found out he's a fucking heathen. So she's a goddamn terror at the end of the day. But see, Jake will look at her and say, that's a black woman. She ain't even black, man. You ain't even black, nigga. Ain't nobody black like the do-rag you wear on your goddamn head, man, all right? And that's another thing. They blatantly disrespect you and they call you niggas black. Oh, by black, I'm black. Oh, man, don't call me black. That's disrespectful. Now, black can be a beautiful color or a shade when it's in the form of a fucking car or a pair of kicks or an outfit you wearing on, but don't fucking label me black, man. I'm far from that shit. We're Israelites, according to the Bible. If you don't want to accept it, then oh well, you're going to die here in America, and deservingly so. One more precept and I end it. I don't want to continue to rant on to this, man, because I was doing a lesson on it earlier, but I was on the road, and you know, with those transits, it's easy to get distracted watching the road and trying to read the scriptures off the comment boards and all that good stuff. And you know, I got to make moderators of this page, because we had a couple of Looney Tunes that got on there scoffing and talking shit because they really believe in this failed system. It's a joke. You know, but anyway, Revelation 13:11, it says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Now that dragon is symbolic to this Roman Empire, to this system, man. Okay, and when you go into that word dragon, it goes into dracon, and when you go into the definition, it says Satan, but really that's going into Athenian lawgiver by the name of dracon, which penalized people to the fullest extent of the law for small crimes, and that's basically what that crime bill bullshit that Herb Biden and all them other clowns and Clinton was all behind. And you niggas put Clinton in office. Oh, he's the first black president. Yeah, that nigga was see-through, man. He the reason why you dumb niggas are getting child support taken out your fucking check. And also, I researched Obama shit too. Obama signed something into law or some shit that they can collect back child support. I was reading on it the other day. He snuck that bill up in there. So what make you think she ain't gonna do the same thing? Okay, she's gonna try to give these hoes more money, and she's gonna try to let them rule over you. And watch how proud these bitches become if this hoe gets in office. But it's all good though, because it's gonna be short-lived, because I'm guaranteeing you, if she becomes president-select, which presidents are selected, they're not elected. Okay, your vote don't mean a damn thing. But if she somehow by a miracle in a landslide become president of the United States, Esau gonna turn up on you niggas, man. And I pray that he do. You know, so you can know what the hell it is, because this is not a goddamn joke. You know, and it says here, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose daily wound was healed. Which this is after the similitude of the first Roman Empire. which we're in the last leg or the revival of the Roman Empire. This is what America is. So all those laws and mandates and the system, the power structure is all coming out of that old Greco-Roman system, which we're currently in today. No coincidence, you have Senate houses, you have congressmen, you have senators, you have mayors, okay? You have all these people, and they build their buildings the same way, and when you look on these court buildings, they got Roman numerals up there, man. Even when they do their Coliseum games, Super Bowl XXX, 1VXX, that's all Roman numerical values, man. This is Rome all over again. So, anyway, I'm going to end it, giving out praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord, swear you would edify into the next lesson.